Okay, so here's another part of my sewing room slash pattern storage slash fabric videos. There's my son. He needs a nap. See? He's halfway there. Yep, beep beep. Anyways, life goes on, right? We can still do a video, no problem. Okay, so this is how I organize all of my patterns. I will show you how I put them in these envelopes in a little bit, but first let me just show you how I put them together. So basically I got these little baskets from Amazon, and I will link them and put them in my Amazon shop, which you can shop directly from. And I used these envelopes to put all my patterns in. And, or, you know, I kept them in the envelope that they come in. And I have like 10,000 dress patterns and a lot less of other patterns. So, these are all my dresses. And then I have another, so Jody, my awesome husband, built these shelves for me. And we figured out how many we could fit, like width-wise, and how many depth-wise we could fit. And that's kind of how we decided what size baskets we wanted. But here's some more dresses back here. So I have like dresses behind dresses. And then they fit perfectly in here. Sometimes they don't, but sometimes they do. And so there's that. Then I have some more dresses. And then I have some barely any knit dresses. And so I put my knit dresses back here. And so they're like in their own little container here. But they're still dresses, so they're separate. So if I'm thinking I want a woven dress, I just go to these. If I'm thinking I want a knit, I go to those. This container right here is something I'm kind of trying out. I'm not really sure if I love it, but it's just stuff I want to make soon. So it's like any pattern that I'm thinking about making soon. And what I decided to do was pin a little swatch of fabric of what I'm thinking about making it with. Now, my plans are kind of random and they change a lot, and so this hasn't really worked as well as I thought it was going to, but it's not too bad. So I every once in a while I'll be like, what am I going to make? And then I go to here and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember I wanted to make that. So that works a little bit. And then I've got jumpers and like overalls or like skirt overalls. I have all those here. And I've pinned some fabrics to them that I want to use, but that's all those there. And then behind there, I grouped my bras, underwear. This is a scrub hat pattern that I kind of made. Swimsuits are in here as well, and like camisoles, like Ogden cami and things like that. So that's all that. And then I've got pants, skirts, and there's nothing really behind there, so I have room to put a whole nother container if I want to. And then down here I have sweaters or cardigans. Sweaters or cardigans here, and then behind that, because I won't be needing them anytime soon, I have coats. So do I need this many coats? Probably not. But I have trench coats, I have raincoats in here. Ooh, this is a good one. Vintage coat that I really want to make one day that is so impractical that I don't care. And then I've got like kimonos. I have my Sapporo coat in here. Stuff like that. Lola coat. Oh, here's like a wrap. Kind of like a knit wrap. So I have all that. And then I've got shirts or tops, basically like woven tops. I have all those here. And then I also have knit tops behind that. So, and then let's see. Here I have patterns for Emma, my little girl. So that's these. And these are patterns for either the little, I think I have, nope, these are all just patterns for, yeah, these are patterns for the boys. So either the big man in my life, Jody, or the little boys, my two little boys. So. That's those. And then that's pretty much it for my pattern storage. I definitely have more room to put more patterns in here, which is always good because we all know that I'm not done buying patterns. But as far as this system, it probably took about 3 or 4 days of me and my hubby both working on it. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you. Let me just get an example of something that I have cut out. And we'll go and meet you over at the table and I'll show you how I store my patterns. All right, we're back. Hello. So we're at my sewing table. So I pulled out 4 examples just to kind of show you different phases that I'm in for storing these patterns because not all of them are cut out. And so if I buy a pattern and I have a little bit of time, the first thing I will do is make an envelope for it. Now I got these envelopes from Amazon. They're just plain white envelopes. And I got the idea for doing this from Melly Sews, and I will link her video down below because this is totally something that she did and that I pretty much copied. I changed it a little bit, but I basically took a lot of advice from her. So the first thing I do is get my envelope. I will go into the PDF because normally it's a PDF pattern that I've bought, and if it's a paper pattern, I just store it like you would any other paper pattern, and it fits perfectly. It's like the same size. But if it's a PDF pattern, I'll go into the file. I don't print out the directions anymore. I basically just print out the important things. And what I do is I print them out. I scale it down whenever I open up the printing window to print at 50%. And so it prints like a miniature version of the page that has the most important things on it. So the things that I really want to go on the envelope are the line drawing or just a picture of the garment if there's no line drawing, but usually there's a line drawing. I like to see the line drawing because I want to see like what components I'm going to be dealing with. And then on the back, I will print out at 50% once again so it can fit on the envelope. And if it makes it too tiny and the full-blown image will fit on the envelope, then just do that. But I basically try to include fabric recommendations, the measurement chart to find out what size I am because I use a lot of indie patterns and all the sizing is completely different. So I like to include that. And then I, of course, put down the fabric that's required. And then this one has some notions that you need, but it's in the fabric recommendations paragraph. But if there's another section that says notions, like how many buttons, how many zippers, if you need any elastic, stuff like that, I like to put that on here too. So basically, like when I look at a pattern and I'm thinking about making it, I can be like, okay, I need this much fabric, I'm this size, I need this many buttons and zippers and blah, blah, blah. And I can just like take this with me to the store, take a picture of it or whatever, and or just go look for it in my sewing room. So I really, really like this. It was a lot of extra work to size, you know, PDF files to print at 50% for like all the patterns you just saw. I mean, it took forever, and then to cut out this piece and then to tape it on here. But it was so worth it because now I can just look and get, you know, and know everything about the pattern that I need to know. And I don't have, like I said, I don't have all my patterns there. A lot of my newer patterns, I've been kind of like struggling to put them in the system. But I'm kind of putting them in there as I make them. And so if I haven't made it yet, I have a list of patterns that I own. So I know what I own somewhere else on the computer. And if I haven't made it yet, I don't really jump to make an envelope for it. Whenever I make it, I cut out the pieces and they need a place to go, and then I'll put them in there. So there's that. So if I've already made the pattern like this one, I will put all the pattern pieces in here, and I basically just fold them to fit into the envelope however you want to do it. When I watched Melly Sew's video, she had a good point about if you can, when you fold the pattern pieces, like try to put like which pattern piece it is, like on the outside, but I know I was folding so many things, I just folded it and put it in here. I'm like, it's fine. So I didn't really do that, but that is a good tip. Also, this reminds me, some patterns with the little information about the recommended fabrics and additional supplies, they'll have like the seam allowance, and sometimes I have the hardest time finding what the seam allowance is for a pattern, and so I'll put that on the cover too, like if it's convenient to put it on there. And I don't know why I didn't do it for this one, but whenever I've already made the pattern, I typically will put down what size I cut out. So that will help me if I want to make it again. I already know what size I am, and I can see what my fabric requirements are, and I don't have to think about it. And so that helps me with that. So that's one that's already cut out. I wanted to show you. This one hasn't been cut out. It just made an envelope for it, and that's all I have. I have the pattern printed, like on a copy shop roll, but I haven't cut it out yet. It's just in my roll switcher over there in the corner, which you'll see when we go through my sewing studio video. All right, and here's an example of a pattern that is a tiled pattern that I print on my printer. And I don't have the copy shop tile because it either didn't come with it or it was before I started ordering those. And so I've printed out the pattern that I need to tape together. And so I will just fold the whole thing and stick it in the envelope. Hi, George. Anyways, so that's what I do for that. If I have to cut it out, put it together, I just fold it up and put it in here so that I don't waste the fact that I have already printed it out, but I don't have to piece it together right then. So that's what I do for that. And that's it. That's pretty much it. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you like it, subscribe down below, click the notification bell so you can be notified when I have another video. And I hope you get something useful out of this. It's really helped me like organize my patterns. They were such a mess before. If you have any questions or any suggestions or anything for me, just let me know. And I will comment back for sure. So, all right. Well, I hope you liked it. Talk to y'all later. Bye. That's it. So then I've got, and then I've, happy birthday to you. That's what he's singing. And then I've got jumpers and like overalls or like skirt overalls. I have all those.